We talked about this cold snap, and it, is dangerous, not just for drivers, but for all of us, as far as our health is concerned, from falls, which we've heard a lot about, to hypothermia. Let's bring in our medical expert, Dr. David Winter from Baylor Scott and White Health. Good morning. I hope you've been staying warm this week.
I am, Kara, but I'm worried about people getting out right now because there's still lots of ice out there. We just heard that.
Well, and in fact, we spoke to folks at MedStar this morning on Daybreak, and they were telling us that was one of their top calls they were getting in, is people who were falling. So let's talk about that. This is something that you hit it wrong, and this could be an injury that is going to be very difficult to recover from.
Exactly. If you must get out, if you're going to get out, be very careful and pay attention to what you're wearing. You want some shoes that have some traction. Now, here's one of my hiking shoes. These work, some traction there. Here's my walking shoes. These work. But you wear your regular dress shoes, oops, like that, hit that on the ice, and kaboom, you're going to fall, you're going to bruise something, you're going to strain a muscle, or you're going to break a bone. We're seeing lots of that right now, so watch out if you get out. Also walk slow and make small steps. Gives you more traction that way, Kara.
Well, what about frostbite? Is this something that we should look at and perhaps recognize? I know we're going to be getting a little above freezing, but I would imagine that depending on your age and your health, if you're in extended cold for a long period of time, that could be an issue.
Exactly. The elderly folks, people that take medication that may affect your blood pressure, depression medicine, those can also help or make circulation a problem. So be careful if you're outdoors for extended periods of time. Frostbite actually affects the nose, the face, and then the hands and the feet, most likely. First signs are numbness and tingling, and you may see some color changes. Your fingertips, for example, they may turn white or a grayish yellow color. If you get that, you need to warm up and warm up quickly. Get those hands, feet, get your face if you need be in warm water, not hot water that can add to the damage, but warm water and warm up quickly.
How about hypothermia? That's another one that we heard from our first responders that said they were treating at least a dozen people. They had calls about hypothermia. How dangerous is that? And how do you recognize the early signs?
Yeah, it's especially dangerous for the elderly and then folks with chronic illnesses like heart disease or lung disease. Early symptoms actually are shivering. That's your body's attempt to increase the heat of your body by activating the muscles. If you go beyond that, you'll get to drowsiness, sleepiness, some confusion. Some people have even trouble talking. Boy, with that, you need to get medical attention right away. Warm up if you can. Again, not hot water, but warm water to gradually increase your body temperatures.
I know that this is a little bit transitioning to a different topic, but the COVID-19 public health emergency is going to end officially May 11th, and the House in Washington passed a bill this week that would end it potentially sooner. So what does this mean now as we're moving forward for Americans?
Yeah, I doubt the House is going to, or the Senate has passed that, of course. I don't think the Senate's going to pass that. So it'll probably be May. But what's going to happen then is that the cost of treatment, of prevention, of testing, vaccines, all that is going to go up high. In fact, vaccines right now, they're inexpensive. In fact, they're free for most people. So if you haven't had a vaccine within the last 6 months, you might want to get one before May, because after that, I don't know how much it's going to cost. We hear more than $100 for a vaccine. And all the testing kits, they may go up. The treatment pills are going to go up also. So just beware that when this Public Health Emergency Act goes away, costs are going to rise to treat and detect COVID.
All right, Dr. Winter, thanks so much for chatting with us again, and stay safe and warm this week.
Safe and warm. That's the two things. Be safe and warm. Thank you very much.